Wait a minute. You want to have sex? We're not even married yet. Cringe. Hey, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Are we rolling right now?
We're going.
Oh.
Why the hell not?
Why the hell?
Woo!
I have a feeling this is going to be a really good one.
Me too. I had a good feeling about this one.
Yeah, I think we're going to do really well. I think I'm going to do really well.
Well, I'm glad you have that confidence in you.
At least one of us does.
Is this your first podcast?
This is I am being deflowered podcast style today.
Losing your podcast virginity.
I'm popping that cherry podcast style.
That's awesome. Well, I'm happy for you. Yeah, I had a gift. And I'll probably put it back in the fridge because it should stay cold. But remember, you got me those drinks before. You got me the you ought to come in on Saturday too. Drink
the Bill
Lumberg Scotch Ale.
Yes, I do.
This is I haven't really seen this yet. Hold on, this is Heady Topper, the Alchemist Vermont Ale.
Oh my God,
it's an 8%er, but my dad was saying that it's like the fourth best drink like in the world or something crazy like that.
Wow.
Check that. Boy,
this guy
out.
Like when he's drinking it, it looks like he's tripping balls.
I didn't even see the guy.
Yeah, I mean, check that out.
That guy's housing it.
Yeah, he's like, what's in this shit?
Yeah. Wow. So he just told me about this right before you came over. So I was like,
yeah.
What the hell?
Budweiser isn't the king of beers. Your dad is the king of beers.
He really is.
Every time, he's. Yeah.
He came down right before we were filming, and because he knew I was gonna give that to you, and he was freaking out because he was like, he had his inventory in there.
Wow.
And he was like, where'd it go? And I was like, I have it over here for Ryan.
Do you want me to save this for later?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. You can drink on the podcast if you want.
All right. Well, when in.
There it is.
Wait, let me get it.
Aha. This is going to be an ASMR podcast. Yeah. Is that what it is? ASMR?
ASMR, right? Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You get real close?
Yep.
This is going swell so far.
I feel, like I said, I think we're going to do really well today.
Yeah. Let's just keep it going. We'll shoot the shit and it's going to be fun, man. So things are good. How has your bullshit year been?
Bullshit year, I mean, I've had better years, but...
True.
Like I was telling your dad, things could be a lot worse.
Yeah. Yep.
I've got a place to live.
Yep.
I have health insurance.
Yep. Yep.
I have food.
Right.
I have food to eat.
Right.
I have plenty of beer and other libations.
Libations. So, what is it? Libations.
Other
recreational activities.
Yes, exactly. Whiskey. Yeah. But it's cool. I've actually been spending, doing time, spending time at home doing other things, like non-musical things.
Oh, nice.
Which is cool because actually, I had a music teacher one time who said that he's not. It's really bizarre. I mean, he's kind of an iconoclast. He sounds like nobody else. But yeah, his name is Wayne Krantz. He's a phenomenal guitar player.
Oh, sick.
Just crazy. I mean, unbelievable. But
yeah.
And he said he doesn't listen to a whole lot of music. He gets inspired by going for walks in the park or going to an art museum or watching dogs run around. Just whatever it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think you can definitely get tunnel vision by just sitting in your studio all the time.
Yep. I'm always talking about that too. I'm always talking about trying to get the fuck out of here. Out of this. Because, I mean, it's great. Having the space is great to make the music. But, yeah, like you said, it's just, you need to take it. I went to the park this morning, actually.
Really?
And
who'd you stalk over there?
A little bit of everybody. People watching is good, though. But I just walked aimlessly.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you do? Because you're
Yeah.
You're prolific. I mean, you're coming out with shit all the time.
I try.
Seriously, songs, videos, and you know, looks. I mean, what inspires you? What keeps you going?
Yeah, usually, I mean, I listen to a lot of music, but I also, I mean, if I'm not working on music, I'm either listening to it or I'm watching like Cops or something. I don't know. Like
which usually has some kind of soundtrack in the background.
Yeah. And so that's kind of an escape, but I had a couple quarantine things. Like I painted my guitar.
Oh, nice.
I did that. I think it took me like a week. I took my time though. That's the only reason why I took a week. And then I got into the painting phase because I spray painted the keytar over there. Now it's pink.
Wow, that is really cool.
Yeah, I think that looks cooler. I don't know.
I think it looks dope.
Dope is sick, nasty.
Dope AF.
That's right. You got to be dope AF.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah. I feel like I've been quarantining my whole life up to this point. So I've felt very, very prepared for...
Do you feel that?
Yeah. I stay inside a lot. You know?
I mean, do you think, like, is part of that because of the style of music that... I mean, because your main thing seems to be you're very electronic based in what you do. Production, sampling, beats and things like that. I'm not sure how much sampling you do.
Dope beats. Not like sampling... songs, which I'd love to get more into. That's a whole other art form. These guys like Kanye West and even like Tyler the Creator are like very inspirational for like their sampling. But yeah, I look at samples as it's just like drum hits, little effects, little tiny things here and there, as opposed to like a whole little like a song that you can sample like an older tune or whatever.
Right.
But
I'm always curious about people who took the electronic route.
Yeah.
Because like I think I told you, I mean I'm a guitar player.
Hell yeah, you are.
I mean old school,
a sick one at that.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I've seen some other guitar players. We start off like we have an amp and a guitar, and then maybe we add, a wah-wah pedal and a few other effects.
Yeah.
But we don't really get into that, electronic part of it. I mean, they're
okay. Yeah.
Like the kind of stuff that you do.
Right.
And I've seen some guitarists who will bring sequencing things onto stage, on the stage, and try to incorporate that. But it sounds gimmicky to me.
Yep.
They're just kind of stepping their toe in the water. And I feel like electronic music, if you're going to do it right, you have to be all in.
Yeah, it's a different world for sure.
I mean, what got you into that? I mean, because some people are very drawn to singer-songwriters, and like your dad's very into like classic rock and stuff, probably, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, he's like a big Frank Zappa, Pink Floyd, The Who.
Yeah.
He turned me on the Dream Theater too.
Okay.
And they're like a little more progressive metal.
Yeah.
Right. So, but they're crazy musicians. Those guys.
Yeah.
They're like insane.
I do think that's funny because, does your dad play? Yeah, because both of our dads were huge music fans.
Yeah.
And I mean, my dad growing up, it sounds like he was very similar to your dad. I mean, we would, from the time I was like 5 or 6, like going to the record store was a big deal.
Yeah.
And he and I both had our favorite songs and albums, and he would record them on tape, and he would write out the lyrics so we could sing them together in the car.
Right.
Even though he doesn't play a single note, I mean, next to my brother, who's my older brother, who's kind of he's an amazing guitar player, and he was really the one who mentored me musically in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I credit my dad for being the first person to really turn me on to music.
To some good music.
And I think that's like, even with people who are studying music, kids or whatever, I mean, you have to be surrounded by it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it helps.
I'm blown away by people who just aren't into me. Like, they're just not moved by it. They really don't care about it.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, if I think about it, there's people that I've asked. Like, 'cause usually, I ask people about their music taste, their favorite music, because that, for me, is like, if I'm getting to know someone, that helps a lot. I feel like it's just fun to talk about, for me at least.
But getting back to, so what took you down the electronic rabbit hole?
So that's a great question. I think it was Daft Punk were like the first guys to really get me onto electronic music, because I wasn't even doing anything production at that point. When I was listening to Daft Punk, I had this buddy in middle school, and we just got these. I think he had these DJ decks. I think that's like the first time I played with DJ decks. I was just experimenting with mashing two songs together, mostly like Daft Punk music, because that's what like they were doing.
Okay.
At like live shows, they were just mashing two of their songs together, and it just sounded sick.
Yeah.
And I think just I've never really thought about this, but just like the friends that I've hung out with, I guess, were just into electronic music at that time.
Yeah.
And especially high school too. That's when I was in high school, like Skrillex was just like coming out, like
what?
And Skrillex.
Who's that?
Really?
I'm serious. Yeah.
He's like a big dubstep guy.
Okay.
So that was getting huge when I was in high school, like 10th grade. It was like 2011 or something.
Okay.
And so just the combination of that, and that's when I was like starting to play around with it. So I feel like I was just around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But were you into other stuff before that? Like how old were you when you started playing music or taking lessons or whatever?
So drums was my first instrument, and I started playing drums I think when I was like 8 or 9.
Okay.
And it was Green Day.
Okay, yeah.
I think American Idiot just came out, and I was rocking that shit.
Yeah. Did you play along to it?
Yeah, I had just pillows and pencils.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Dude, it was my favorite. It was easy to understand. It was 3 guys. That was it.
Yeah.
Billy Joe Armstrong, the bassist, and the drummer Trey, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
And he was like the cool. They were all so cool, obviously. So I was like, I want to be like that. And they got me drumming. So and then from there, yeah. The rest is history.
There really is something about like trios, power trios, like that. Like some of my, I mean, I was born in 19.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm probably the first dinosaur you've had on the show. I'm sure. You're like,
you are.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, I was really into, and I'm still into, like, I mean, Cream.
Hell yeah.
Jimi Hendrix. That
guy's sick. Jimmy's nasty.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's unbelievable.
Just the whole package. I mean, he was one of these triple threat musicians who he could play, and he could write, and he could sing.
Hell yeah, dude, exactly.
And there aren't many people who can do that.
Right.
And plus, like, he was just a dynamite performer. I mean, and the way he used effects. I mean, he was one of those people who he totally changed the game.
Yeah.
For guitar players and music.
Killer.
And also, like, from a music production standpoint, like if you listen to Electric Ladyland or something, like with headphones on, that's when stereo was a novelty, and you could hear his guitar careening back and forth.
Yeah, starting to play around with that stereo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there were no plugins.
Right.
They had to make that shit up on the spot.
I feel like that's some of like the best. They had the best gear though, even though it was really new. There's a lot of new gear, especially like I'll never forget like the story about like the 80s sound. Like they were messing around with like a compressor and like a gate and like
Yeah.
gated reverb or something.
Yeah, that was, you mean like compressor in terms of the production and stuff?
Yeah, just like recording wise, running through the analog, you know, the real fucking, you can hold it in your hands, like compressor and like these,
Oh yeah, the compressor that was like a rack mounted thing. That was
yeah,
like that,
huge freaking. They make them like this now.
with,
But
big Frankenstein knobs.
yeah, right. So I remember like, I think it was Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. As soon as you said gated, that's what I think of.
Yeah.
Like his gated snare drums.
Yeah, just the goosh.
Yeah.
Apparently, like in the studio, it was 1980, like on the year, and they were recording something. They were just testing it out, and they had like the monitor mic in there. They had the monitor mic going through the gate, and they were getting levels, hit the snare, and it made that sound. It made the goosh with the reverb, but it cut off.
Cut it off. Yeah.
So it had that goosh. And they were like, "Whoa, wait, what was that?" And do that again or whatever. And they were messing around. They were like, "Dude, do that." And that was the 80s sound. Isn't that cool?
That is very, very cool. That
Those accidents.
Yeah. But even like the Beatles were doing a lot of that stuff with compressors and limiters, and like especially like Ringo's drums later on. I know like a lot of drummers love to hate on Ringo, but I'll tell you, for that band, like he came up with some really clever beats, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never gotten that, by the way. He's just like not that pretty, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and you know, I mean, his time wasn't perfect all the time, and
okay.
but but he, I think George Martin, their producer, had so much to do with how that band sounded.
True.
But they started. It was like Revolver. That was the first album that just, that was like the light switch. Like, okay,
right,
I'm into these guys now.
Right. Wasn't it like the way I remember hearing about the Beatles getting big was everything kind of before the Beatles was very like baritone. Like you had these singers that were just low in like the baritone kind of singers.
I think there were a lot of like teen idols, like people who were they were harmless, and they wore perfectly coiffed hair, and these guys were kind of punks,
like the first kind of like pop stars, wouldn't you think? Or you know what I mean?
But the other thing too is like they were the first people who really started to write their own material.
Okay.
But before that, it was professional songwriters who would pitch songs to these up and coming, good sounding, good looking singers.
Oh yeah.
And
right. That's kind of just the business.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But Ringo's drums later on, like when they started getting really experimental in the studio, they put compression on some of his cymbals. Huh. Like if you listen to
I can see
like,
that.
She Said, like when he hits those crashes, like it just
like
blooms,
flattens out. Yeah.
So amazing.
Yeah, and for anybody that doesn't know what compressing or any of that, what do you think the best way to explain that would be?
I would say, so like if you hit a cymbal, or you make any noise, it's gonna
flatten the dynamic.
That's what the compressor does. So it takes, because anytime you hit you're playing an instrument, you're gonna have really high peaks of sound and really low peaks of sound. Right. And what a compressor does is it kind of squashes it so it's more even. Right.
They'll use they'll use that on mastering to make the whole song kind of, or especially, I mean, with electronic music. They used to do a lot more electronic music.
Yeah.
They're nowadays you're trying to get the most dynamic in electronic music. But yeah, like if you listen to like Avicii or whatever, it's just like the whole thing is like squashed.
Yeah. Right. And that's one thing I definitely noticed that about electronic music.
Right.
Like one thing I'm always curious about is you're very much into like production and recording, and from my point of view, like I've tried to do some of that stuff, and I've tried to do mixing and mess with EQ curves.
That's the thing. Those are two totally different things.
Yeah, like
from the production to the engineering.
Yeah.
Right.
But even just like being a live on stage musician, listening to your sound on stage, when you go into the studio and you are a studio worker, whether you're a producer or an engineer, but yeah, definitely more so if you're an engineer, you have to have totally different ears.
Yeah, my ears are just fucked now. Like I don't hear music the same way ever again. I just pay attention to to every single little thing, the frequency of this or that. Mainly, like if it's a vocal, I'd be like, oh, frequencies.
You mean did you just listen to too much loud music and you didn't?
Well, maybe that, but I mean just like my trained ears. Like obviously, when I listen to like, I don't know why this is popping in my head, but if I listen to like Black Eyed Peas back in like 2008 or whatever, all I cared about, I got like these fresh beats by Dre. I was like, ooh, the bass.
Yeah.
But like, obviously I didn't like pay attention to anything. I don't know. I didn't know anything. And then just producing and mixing, mastering, all that shit. It's just like, what's a good like comparison?
Something that the lay person would understand.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you have a lot of those people listening to this.
Yeah, right.
The man on the street. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But my ears aren't fucked, but they're just,
Did you do some damage to them or something?
No, not even like that.
Yeah.
But just, I don't know. I feel like I have a different ear. I just pay attention to like I don't know. I feel like it's hard to explain. Like if people are really trying to enjoy music, I just pay attention to like the way it was mastered, how it comes out, like different, because it's absolutely crazy going through Spotify, different songs, like depending on, oh shit, that has a lot of bass, or like that frequency is hitting weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, man.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't listen for production quite as much as you do probably, but, to me, I'm all about, a band's performance.
Right.
How does it sound? And, a big part of me thinks, all right, well, if the band sounds good, like if the vibe is there, it's going to be on, the proof is on the tape,
Right. That's a little bit easier too with like those one take bands.
Yeah, exactly. But like when I check out a pop song, like a really new pop song for like a student, or like that I'm playing, with my wedding band,
right?
Like if it's a dance track, even as much as a sort of an old school classic rock, funk, R&B guy as I am, I can usually find something in that track for my ear to lock onto. Like
production-wise or like...
Production-wise, but... and I'm including like a good drum beat in that, or like a...
Or the drum sound?
The drum sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's everything, like sample picking.
Yeah. And also, like, a lot of them have good bass lines. Like, damn good bass lines.
Yeah.
And sometimes there will be a really funky guitar part buried in there.
Yeah.
But that's why, like, I love listening to music on good headphones.
That does change the game.
Seriously, like, I can't fucking stand earbuds.
Yeah, earbuds, yeah. You're the over-the-ear guy. What's your go-to can? The cans that you use.
I think they're called Beyer Dynamic.
Oh, Beyer. Yeah, these are them.
Yeah.
The Beyer, those are just the Sony MDR, MSR. Yeah. Those are like just your standard.
Yeah.
Like, these are the dynamic 770s. You probably got these bad boys.
Something like that.
These are pretty popular, I feel like.
Yeah.
So these are great. I'll use these to mix and shit.
Yeah.
If I'm using headphones.
Yeah, and then I have I do have a pair of earbuds actually that I use for jogging. They're actually really good. Like the sound is really good. Like you can actually through your iPhone you can control the EQ curve and stuff.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And they're comfortable. They sound great.
Because hopefully you're not worried about that shit while jogging. Like you're not like, why is that fucking frequency popping out of there?
You'd be
Why
surprised.
is the snare so loud? Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Like, some things will just drive me crazy. Like, I gotta stop and fix that EQ.
But that's a thing, right? If there's a certain thing, you're like, you just lock in on it.
Yeah.
My mom asked me the other day when I was listening to some Fearless Flyers and shit.
Oh.
And she asked me like, what part like do you connect with the most? And you can take that question like a couple of different ways, but I said, oh, the bass.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but just like I listened to that for like the fucking funky bass.
You mean Joe Dart?
The Joe Dart bass.
Yeah.
The Joe Dart fucking jazz fucking.
What's that volume control? What does that do?
Do we want to watch that real quick?
Just like a little snippet of that. Can you actually show this to the people? Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Bass. Oh, I gotta show you that bass solo too. The Joe Dart bass.
Yeah.
Here, let me see if
see if you can cue it up to that.
Get the volume right. Nasty.
That's Nate Smith, right?
Yeah. Nate Smith, man.
What a motherfucker.
Wow, that is a funk bass, huh?
Yeah, it really does go.
This one's great right here. Dude, I wish I could fucking play bass
Oh my
like
god.
Sometimes you might be playing a show
This is
and
it.
find that your bass is too loud or too quiet. We put a unmistakable, can't miss it volume knob.
What is that controlling?
I mean, bands like that and Snarky Puppy and
Yeah.
Lettuce and like the whole jam band scene. Like, I'm not into all of it, but
Yeah.
a lot of people say, well, there's no good music anymore. Fuck that.
Absolutely. Fuck that.
like,
fuck you and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and the horse that you rode in on. But you have to dig for it, and I think a big problem is that it's music now. It's so available. I mean, it's like turning on your faucet, and it's there.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Dude, that's such a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
It really is. It's crazy.
And like, I remember. I'm fucking old, all right. But, but I remember, like if I wanted one song by whatever the band was, I had to go out and buy the whole friggin' CD.
Right.
You know?
Very rarely. I listened to my friend's album the other day, and I go, yeah, I listened to the whole album all the way through, and she goes, thank you for doing that. Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah.
I go, that's the whole. It's like I treat it like a movie.
Yeah.
Sit down, like take the time and enjoy it as a whole. Because the reason I do that is because of Kendrick's albums. Like, I'll do that with his albums. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists like that you kind of have to. But yeah, that's the way I do it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, now it's the trend is to just release singles.
Yeah,
and,
or very small EPs, like a group of like three tunes.
Yeah, exactly. And
Which is cool too.
yeah, I mean, it's different.
It's just different. It's just different.
Right, but I mean, I love the fact that some of these bands are still making albums.
Yeah,
and that there's a clear narrative, like from the beginning to end. You listen to the whole thing.
Right.
And
yeah.
The problem is, like, so many people now, I think, they have much more breadth of musical knowledge or awareness and much less depth. Do you know what I mean?
A little bit.
Like,
yeah, I think so.
Like they know a little bit about a ton of different artists.
Yeah, and
or maybe one single from this person, but they never listened, to this entire album by Ray LaMontagne, which sounds like Dark Side of the Moon or something.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Or just
yeah. Right.
Yeah. Or like even like that Vulpeck concert at
Dude, I was just gonna tell you, Madison Square
Garden.
I just watched that whole thing the other day.
That is
holy shit. Those guys had fun.
Seriously. I got to remind myself to wear diapers when I watch that shit. I mean, it's so friggin' good.
I can watch a little bit of that because I have my favorite part, and this is a little bit obvious, but the kind of like the bass solo, but it's during that tune. Look at these heroes that post these in the comments, so you can just like jump right to the song.
Yeah, right. Was it Dave Koz? Was he the sax player that came on?
Dave Koz.
There was a.
I think so. All I remember is Joey Dosick was like killing it.
And then, Dave Koz and Chris Thiele.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On what was that song? Wait, where are you seeing that? This guy. Yeah. That was a great tune.
And then one of the guys' moms came on, gave a little meditation.
Yeah, dude. I was watching it with my parents, and I was like, I don't know if they're gonna like get this. Like, it's funny, but they were loving it. They were like, "This is awesome," and my dad loved it.
Yeah.
Beastly, I think. All right, so this guy. So let me skip forward a little bit. Do you remember this part?
I think so.
Go full screen on this bitch.
Can we talk? Are we allowed to talk over this?
Oh yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want, man. You can commentate this fucking beautiful man.
Right, this right here, this is one of the hardest musical situations to be in because he's trying to keep a beat, and the audience, they're going to keep clapping faster and faster and faster.
That too, yeah. At least it helps. You've got a crowd of musicians, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
But still, you're going to get that. Just because... And he's just killing it. Oh, God.
Yeah.
See, like right now, I'm just like, fuck you, man. But also, I love you. Also, a little bit fuck you, but also, I love you. Oh.
I think for me, the best music, it comes down to the rhythm and the feel.
That's what it is about this guy. His bass is so rhythmic. It's just so like he's on his rhythm is unbelievable. And
and it's very out front too.
And every time I watch this part of the show, all I can think about is like that must be such a big moment for him. He's like just playing. He's just ripping it by himself in front of the entire Madison Square Garden.
Secret Service there in the front.
I know. Look at this guy's. Oh, and then fucking Corey Wong comes right in and just fucking.
This asshole. That's right. You were with me at that show, right?
Yeah, Corey Wong.
Yeah.
So they kind of just build it up and get faster.
And that disco shit in the background.
Yeah, dude.
Come on, what's not to love? Ugh.
These two guys, you know? It's disgusting. Look at that.
Yeah.
Faster. Come on. And for me, it's just the way that they build it up and get faster and faster and then just kind of jam right into the... You'll hear it, but... Faster. That's so fun, man. They're not even looking at their fucking instruments, you know?
This is one of those times when visual communication is more important than...
That's true. And then they fucking... Boom. Right into the...
Like, totally different tempo.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part of that show.
And it's so funny, like, I mean, I know we're both... we've both been music teachers, and
yep. Right.
I always talk to my students that, like, rhythm it's at the same time, like, it's I think it's the most important aspect about being a musician.
Yeah.
But whenever you're taking music lessons, it always falls to the bottom of the pile. You know, it's always like, at least with guitarists and
yeah, because also it's like hard in like music lessons, because if they're like that new to it, even if they do have like a solid rhythm, I feel like if a student's like too focused on something else, he can't, like, it's just like hard to balance all that, I guess.
Well, yeah, and with little kids, I mean, there's definitely some motor skills that come into play.
Right. Yeah.
But
that's
even
the whole thing.
with adult students, you know, they've spent so much time working on, you know, chords or whatever, or you know, picking patterns, but just develop. You got to have an internal clock. You got to have that, you know, and that's, and I think to do that, you really have to get your hands dirty. You know, you have to listen to musicians who have good time. You got to play along
like
with
sick time, because these guys have sick time.
Or even just like, I mean, start off with like
sure,
I mean,
start off with a little light, you know.
Well, you know, even like Motown stuff. You know, those really simple parts. You know, or
that's a good point.
Or the meters, or I mean, Michael Jackson's Thriller, talking about albums that sound killer with headphones on.
Oh, dude, that album.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, and just these tiny little guitar parts. Have you ever heard Fela Kuti?
No.
Yeah, he's
Should I look it up?
He was FEL. Well, yeah, I'm not sure what would come up with him in terms of
FEL.
FELA. Space,
that guy?
Space. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was an Nigerian multi-instrumentalist, and
apparently.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And he was a composer, pioneer of the Afrobeat music genre, and human rights activist.
Oh!
Ah!
That's sick.
But anyhow, when you listen to his stuff, there's like 8 guitar parts, like, and they're all doing like you know,
and it just kind of builds.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
yeah, even like I'm just I'm starting to teach take a course on Indian music.
Oh, okay.
And like the way they interpret rhythm is completely different.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing
crazy.
4/4 about that shit at all. You know, like they count in groups of 10 and 15, and it's very long and you know, extended forms, and yes, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I'm keep talking. I'm listening, because I just got that reminds me of this video I wanted to show you of this dude that's doing polyrhythms. Like, I've seen like a couple of these polyrhythm guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about TikTok?
Oh yeah, well I know what they did with the Trump rally. That's what I know.
What do you
them
mean?
from.
What happened?
Oh, that they remember that rally that he had in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This was maybe a month and a half ago.
Oh, okay, so recent.
Yeah, and they he was boasting that it was almost all sold out. And what it was is people on TikTok, like, they advertised the Trump administration
I think I know where you're going with this.
Free tickets. And but you had to sign up. So all these people on TikTok,
right,
from Utah or China or whatever, went in and requested all these tickets.
Yeah.
And then Mike Pence got on, we're all sold out, and you then nobody showed up.
Right. That's right. I did hear about that, actually.
Fucking love it.
That's sick. Yeah, because I would see TikToks about like people saying, guys, go to this website, just buy like 100 tickets or whatever, or something stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Shit. I gotta find this thing, because like I said, I've seen a couple polyrhythms on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
There's like these crazy kids doing it, and I sound like you when I say that. But fucking some of them are. There's like one in particular that's incredible. I found it. So I think he's using his both hands, both feet, and his mouth, because he like talks at the same time too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing something with his right hand, something with his left hand, something with his left foot, something with his right foot, and then counting like a different thing.
Wow.
So every single limb is doing something different. So let me see if I can show you. Hold on. I'm just gonna hold it up to the mic, kind of thing. So let's see if I can. So that's 11. 11/7. Like what?
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Although on the other hand, like I think like I've played with drummers whose time is so good, and I mean, nothing against that. I mean, that is serious work right there.
Right. That's
You know?
like something I feel like you could be that good at that, but then maybe bad at something else. I feel like,
Well,
you know what I mean? I don't. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
well, I guess like what I'm getting at is like I like it. So like I've played with some drummers who are just they're so good and they're so meticulous that it's like playing with a human metronome.
Oh yeah.
And it almost feels claustrophobic. You know what I mean? Like
I think so.
So like
Oh, because it's like so good. You're like
it's so
shit.
it's so exact, and it doesn't breathe. You know, like you listen to Jeff Porcaro, who I think he's my favorite drummer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know,
He's
because,
sick.
Yeah, but he kind of like he didn't play to a click a lot unless yeah. For those who don't know Jeff Porcaro, maybe we should just,
Sure. Yeah.
He was just this unbelievable
Crazy.
drummer who played on so many hits of pretty much like the 70s and 80s and early 90s. He died really tragically in the early 90s, but
R.I.P.
But he was he was in the band Toto. He did that Rosanna. You
So
know.
wasn't he also drumming on? He was on Thriller, wasn't he? A session drummer for Thriller.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was him and J.R. Robinson, I think, who did the drums on that. But Jeff Porcaro, like Steve Lukather, the other guitar player, or well, the guitar player who Jeff played with in Toto, he said, I mean, they were basically, that was what they call the studio era, when somebody wrote a song and they said, all right, I need some crack musicians to come here and just make it happen. Yeah. And Steve Lukather said Jeff Porcaro could polish a turd better than anybody else. Like he could just take the stupidest fucking song that just and then come up with a beat that just slayed it, you know. But the thing is, like there was something, he had very good time, but there was something relaxed about it, you know. Like every 30-second of a beat might be just a little bit.
All I can think of is just like
Yeah, exactly.
That's sick. Yeah.
That's what I like.
I'm gonna actually break it up a little bit and go to our first segment. It's really dumb, but I have like segments.
Yeah. I love segments.
Let's segment it up. This is TikTok of the week is one I've been doing. Mm-hmm. And this one this week is musical, but also, dude, it's so dumb it's funny. You know what I mean?
I love dumb and funny.
So, and I thought of you when I saw this one too, just going to my TikTok.
Because he's dumb. And he thinks he's funny.
He'll understand this. Here, all right, this is it. Ready?
Yeah.
I don't know if you are ready, man. This is pretty.
Wait a minute. You want to have sex? We're not even married yet. Cringe!
I don't know why I could see you doing that. Wait a minute. You want to have sex? We're not even married yet. Cringe.
What is that a riff from a song I should know?
I don't know what fucking song that is. Fuck, what song is that?
Sounds like a late 90s grunge kind of thing.
Fucking who knows?
Yeah.
It's like one of those. Yeah. But
yeah.
Right. Dude, it's so funny because every time I don't think about you a lot, but when I do think of you, you know,
that's not what I hear.
Because like you're like one of the only friends that I have that like texts me in movie quotes, and like that's it. Like you won't even say hey. You'll be like, Mortimer.
That's because we both know the entire script for Trading Places. Yeah, and what blew my mind is you're like 100 years younger than me, and you knew all the lines.
Dude, that's the best fucking movie.
So friggin' hilarious.
I think just because my parents are that awesome. It'll be every other like fortnight or whatever, and my mom will be like, we should watch Trading Places tonight or something.
So good.
She wants to watch Office Space again.
Oh. Did our friend ever watch that movie? Or we gave that?
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
Probably not.
That's too bad.
That is too bad.
What a waste of a DVD.
I can go screw. No, I'm just kidding. What a waste of a DVD. Did we get her the DVD?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the bonus edition with extra flair, I think.
Do you still have your stapler?
I do have my stapler. Yep.
Like, is it getting any action, or is it just kind of like in a frame, like on a pedestal?
It gets a lot of action.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm. It needs a lot of action.
I know. Yeah, it needs some love.
Or else it gets
lonely,
anxious, and
I
frustrated.
get that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got Ryan the red swing line stapler from Office Space.
Love it.
Because we're just like we're just like that. Oh my gosh.
So what are your musical goals right now? Like, what do you?
That's a good question.
What are you hoping to? Well, I mean, here's another thing. Like, I love when people, like, during podcasts or interviews. It's so funny. Like, you can take podcasts in so many different directions. Like, a lot of them I hear that's like, especially with people who have played together or just hung out a lot together. They talk about, remember when we did this, remember when we did that, and that's cool. But it's a little insy. It's like it's not something a lot of people can relate to because they weren't there.
I knew that this was gonna be a very like in-depth, musically intellectually, if that's a fucking word,
intellectually
deep,
intellectual. I thought you were gonna say shallow, but
shallow.
No, but like one of the things I always love to hear is, what are you practicing? What are you working on?
Oh yeah, I'll ask you the same thing. But for me, did I text you yesterday about the Redbone tune?
You did, and I
that was just boredom. I was kind of having just like an off day. I just wasn't working on much work, and I was just like, dude, Redbone is a great tune. So I learned that on guitar, learned it on bass, and then when I texted you, it came to my head. I was like, we should do this version, like if Vulpeck did Redbone or whatever.
Mm-hmm. What is Redbone again for people?
Oh yeah, that's a Childish Gambino song.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
Okay.
Wow, 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 wow.
Mm-hmm.
Sick, nasty.
Yeah.
So that was boredom. But the biggest thing right now, I mean, obviously I'm always working on singles and releasing singles and like videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been trying to get my shit together to do like an EP, like 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah.
So that's a goal.
What's your songwriting process?
That's a good question. It starts with it could start a couple ways. It could either start with if I hear like an idea in my head,
like a musical or
like a melody, like melody, or never usually like lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrics usually come like later for me.
Okay.
If I hear like a melody, like if I say I hear a melody, I'll usually like voice memo it on my phone, record it for later. There's probably like 1,000 of these in there that I just never have gone back to.
Did I get unplugged here?
Oh yeah, just plug that sucker back in. Oh, right. You son of a bitch.
Oh, We just lost an hour of my wisdom.
And we're back.
What I miss?
And we're back.
Okay. So you're Chris Berry.
Yeah. How was your quarantine? But no. But it could start off like that, or if I'm in the mood to write but I don't really know where to go with it, I'll use my favorite app, Splice, that I've told you about, where there's different like samples, there's like melodies, just for like inspiration. If I hear something, I'll sift through like a new pack. There's like always new sample packs, so I'll go through the new ones. There's never like a disappointing thing on there. So I'll hear a melody, maybe I'll use some of it, but very recently, like if I do use it, it usually just ends up getting buried, and I'll just add stuff on top of it. It's just like an inspirational thing, like hearing different tones or melodies or whatever. Yeah, but yeah,
I've never tried that. I've never used. I mean, the deepest I go with music technology. I mean, I've stepped my toe into Logic, but basically. I use GarageBand as kind of like
you can do the same thing.
Just like that's where all the ideas go.
Yeah, right.
But it is tough. Like I've never found drum grooves that are like really inspiring. And I've never used that. And I've never really turned to that as a tool. Like what I'll do is, I have a looper pedal, and
hell yeah, you do.
And
you got a sick board. Don't you got like a full board of shit?
I have I've some pretty good pedals.
Yeah.
But there aren't. I really try to like. Gear is something that a lot of guitar players like. They just go ape shit over.
Yeah.
And it can get so almost like a fetish. Where it's, oh boy, I have this this distortion pedal. Look, I paid $500 for it, and it's hand signed, and the manufacturer took a dump right on it, so it's really valuable. But
and people are like, why? And you're just like, dude, this fills me with glee. It makes me so giddy.
Sometimes right now, if I ever do get a new piece of gear, I try to keep it
below a certain price.
No, not necessarily that, but I try to get stuff only if I feel like I'm going to use it for the long haul.
Okay, yeah,
And if I have a pedal or or a guitar or whatever that I haven't really used in a long time, I think it's important to just let that go. Sell it and get something else.
Yeah,
but
new chapters are beautiful.
Yeah,
leaving something behind.
But sometimes people will use that as like they'll hide behind gear, or if I had enough delay and reverb and chorus and distortion, it'll sound great. But if it's not in here and it's not in your fingers, it's not happening.
I'll do the same thing with autotune. Because really, dude, autotune, I've talked about this before on the podcast, but if you cough into it, it just goes like, if you just like into it just goes, oh, like I don't
really
no, but that's just my ongoing joke. But I feel like it's not like it's being compressed, it's not like it's being squashed, but if you're so soft with it, like if you're not even doing like a pitch, it's still gonna give you something. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, depending on how strong you have it.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's like,
do you embrace auto-tune, or
yeah, because like what I'm using, there's different levels, so you can, there's like an off button, but if you go all the way up, like max, it's like
you'll get that notch filter sound.
Yeah, you're gonna get that robotic. Mm-hmm. You might not get this reference, but Travis Scott sound, but also Kanye West sounding like really robotic.
Like no slides into
no slides at all.
Yeah.
But then there's a setting right in the middle. Like there's, I'm gonna upgrade my shit, because my version just has like 3 clicks. It's like a low, which is like a lot of slide. There's a middle, which I use a lot. The middle has a very smooth, but also keeps you right on pitch.
Yeah.
But then there's like and then the third one is just like all the way.
Yeah.
But there's a version that I can get that's like,
Yeah.
you can kind of get in between those.
Yeah.
Like if you're all the way up and you don't want it so robotic-y, you can just kind of bring it a little bit down.
Yeah.
It's just more flexible.
Yeah.
But just the one I have is just click, click, click.
I think it's whatever serves the performance.
Yes.
Like
the style.
Like I heard an interview with Michael Bublé, who I'm not a big fan
Michael
of.
Bubble, you're right.
You know.
Right.
But he seemed very self-aware. Like he said, "Look, I know I'm never going to be the critic's darling." It's like
That's
he's
cool.
he's a very like. I think there are some bands that I would be a lot more sold on if I saw them live. Like I have seen
Right.
some clips. Like he gets the baddest motherfuckers to play with him. Like
Yeah.
when you're at his level, you get the best guys to play
Yeah.
with you. You know.
Yeah, right.
But he was talking about auto-tune, and he said, "Look, it's all about making the song sound as good as it can."
Yeah.
And and then I've on some live records they'll overdub a vocal or like who wants to hear an out of tune guitar or
Right.
a flat. It's
Yeah, that's
just to
the
make
thing.
just to make it authentic. Like what are you really getting?
Right. That's the thing about me with auto-tune is I use it more than ever now. Like I used to use, I use a couple different softwares. It used to be nothing. Then I got like one software to kind of help with the pitch a little bit. But now if I hear like the music I listen to, which is like, yeah, it's mostly electronic and, it really depends. But for my style, I feel like the pitch just has to be on for all vocals. Like even if you're a good vocalist, like if I brought Christina Aguilera in here, I'm still gonna auto-tune that shit.
Yeah.
And not even, I don't have to auto-tune it, but I would still need to make sure there, the other software I have, it's called Melodyne. You can basically go in and it analyzes everything, and you can just get in there and take a note and just like adjust it, just make it perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna make that much difference.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's just, standards get better all the time. And,
right. Same standard with like the compression of electronic music. Like when I listen to that old Avicii or Skrillex, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize it was so freaking squashed.
Yeah.
And now there's a lot of dynamic. Like there's
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's chilled out.
Okay.
It's not fully
That's the problem I've always had with a lot of pop music is like they squash it and then they raise the volume level.
Yeah. Right.
And it's all just sitting there and it gets fatiguing after a while.
Yeah, I think that's what I've found is that a lot of the music now has adapted to this. I feel like it's just a new style. It's just very, very dynamic, and it sounds better to me.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, and like you listen to professional musicians who played on pop records in the 60s. Like there's some great movies like do you know about the Wrecking Crew? Have you ever heard of that before?
no, what's that?
The Wrecking Crew was the name given to a bunch of studio musicians in California, in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
They played on all kinds of bands' records, for, like way back in the like the Beach Boys, the Monkees,
Yeah.
really old groups,
The Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, but basically, they were a singer would come in, they would hand them the charts, and then they would just play it,
Damn.
one or two takes. But the
Right.
thing is, like, you listen to like the drum parts back then, and they weren't like Dave Weckl or like
Yeah.
Dave Weckel's like a super tight, amazing drummer. But as you get, as time went on, the standards just got higher, and then
Right.
then I think like in the 70s, R&B music started to get a lot tighter, and and some of the arrangements too with horn parts, like bands like Earth, Wind and Fire, Tower of Power.
Yeah.
I love that shit. It's
Dude, I'm glad you brought up Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh.
Boy, do I have the fucking segment of a lifetime for you.
Yeah.
It's so dumb, but it's a last-minute idea I had right before you came. Now, here's the deal. We're going to do this, then we're going to take a quick ad break. But I don't get political on this podcast at all.
Okay.
And I thought this would be funny. It's really dumb. But I want to give you a quiz, and you're going to guess if... I'm going to give you quotes.
Okay.
And you're going to guess if it's an Earth, Wind, and Fire lyric.
Oh, no. Uh-huh.
Or a Trump quote. So it should be... it's so dumb because it's easy, but I feel like it's going to be good. I feel like it's going to keep you on your toes.
The pressure's on. I'm probably going to fuck this up.
I think since this is episode number 9, we've got 9 of each.
Number 9?
We've got 9 somewhere in here, we've got 9 Earth, Wind, and Fire lyrics, and we've got 9 Trump quotes.
You didn't make this shit up, did you?
No, I promise you.
All right. I want you to cite all your sources at the end of
That's exactly.
Damn it.
All right, are you ready? So basically the ways this is going to work, have you ever seen Billy on the Street, that TV show?
No.
This is very similar to that.
Am I at a disadvantage because I haven't seen that?
No.
Okay.
It's just in the style. He does a lot of the quizzes on the show, and this is in the same style. So
all right.
This is called Earth, Wind, and Fire lyric or Trump quote. And I'm going to give you them, and you're going to say either Earth, Wind, and Fire or Trump.
Okay.
Okay.
And are you going to tell me after each one?
Yeah, I'm going to say after each one. I'm going to say,
and then you're going to tally my score and see if I'm
something like that.
Yeah. See if I win the douchebag award.
And because I can't keep track, but just do your best. And here we go.
Okay.
All right. And 3, 2, 1. When you wish upon a star, your dreams will take you very far. But when you wish upon a dream, life ain't always what it seems.
That's Shining Star, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes. I have great relationships with the blacks.
Trump.
Okay, yes.
What, are you in a hurry doing this?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let's go. We got to ring them up. Hearts of Fire creates love, desire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes. I will build a great wall, and nobody builds a wall better than me. Believe me, I'm going to keep going. And I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great wall on our southern... Yeah, you get it. Do you remember the 21st night of September?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes. The beauty of me is that I'm very rich.
Trump.
Yes. You want my love, you can't deny, you know it's true, but you try to hide.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes. It's freezing and snowing in New York. We need global warming.
Trump.
Yes. When you feel down and out, sing a song. For you, here's the time to shout. Sing a song.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes, sir. I just start by kissing them. It's just like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Sounds like one of Prince's more obscene lyrics, but Donald Trump.
Yes. We just want to give gratitude. Yeah. Got plenty love we want to give to you. Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes. It really doesn't matter what the media writes as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of ass.
Oh, Jesus. Donald Trump.
Yes. When I see your face like the morning sun, you spark me to shine.
Donald Trump could have said that, so Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's true, yes. My fingers are long and beautiful as it has been well documented are various other parts of my body.
Donald Trump.
Yes. Every man has a place in his heart. There's a space, and the world can't erase his fantasies.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes. I've never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke.
Donald Trump.
Yes. You're doing excellent. Saw it in a store one day. Thought it might make me play future music all for you.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes. I know nothing about the inner workings of Russia.
Donald Trump.
Yes. I thought that one might stump you. Walk around. Why wear a frown? Say little people try to put you down.
I'm tempted to say Donald Trump, but I'm going to go with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes. This one's long. Strap in. No, I have no age. I mean, I have age limit. I don't want to be like Congressman Foley with 12-year-olds.
Donald Trump.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, I think you got every single one. I think you got every single one of them.
Oh, nice. Wow, that was close.
It's a close call.
I had to really think about that. For a
Yeah,
while.
especially the. Yeah.
What a great. Do you treat all of your guests to a segment like that?
No, I haven't done that yet. I think I might make that a habit.
Well, you have now.
I was thinking of timing it, but I wanted to get through all of them. But we are going to take a quick ad break, and when we come right back, we're going to finish talking about aliens or something. Oh, hey, have you heard of Anchor? Let me tell you why Anchor is the best and easiest platform to start your very own podcast on. First of all, it's free. Everybody loves free. If you don't, you're a stupid idiot. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, so they make it super easy. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And we're back.
We are.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I thought I was done.
I know. Fuck this shit. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to do like a 5-minute mini music lesson. Or Ryan's going to teach it.
MML.
What?
Mini music lesson.
Yes, the MML.
Yeah.
I knew that.
5 MML. 5-minute music lesson.
FMML. 5-minute music lesson.
N. Now.
Now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So basically, yeah, I told you my thing is mainly rhythm guitar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm totally happy in that zone. You know what I mean? Like my favorite guitarists have always been rhythm guitar players. Like, like even Eddie Van Halen, just badass lead player. Like his grooves, his rhythm guitar playing is what made those songs great.
Yep.
So anyhow, like I think, like
get your guitars ready.
Yeah, like a lot of times, in a solo or something like that, or an R&B tune, you have kind of a static chord, where you're going to be soloing over D minor, or it's like, especially like neo soul or things like that.
Oh, yeah.
You might have, like,
Sorry, you're probably fine, but I just make love to the mic, Ryan.
So I said, yeah. So, I mean, this isn't the lesson here, but like a lot of times you might just have like a D minor, and it goes to, but anyhow, so a lot of times I like taking kind of standard chords, like I love triads, like little 3-note
for sure
voicings,
little.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we talked about that. But like A minor, for example, like this is that's a very common, very guitar friendly key.
For sure.
So like, do you know that voicing for A minor 7?
No.
So this is just
I'm
like,
not. Dude, this guy is rips on the guitar. I'm just barely getting by. Look like.
Do you need a pick?
I have my I don't know where I got this pick from, but
I like it.
It's like outer space.
It kind of matches the guitar. It's got all.
I know. Yeah.
You're much more coordinated than I am.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, your guitar is more flair than mine does.
Well, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. So anyhow, like this thing, like this is a very, very kind of this is a just those. Right. Yeah. So a lot of times you can take a chord like that, and then if you want to add a little bit of kind of zest to it, just add one different.
What am I adding there?
So you're gonna actually add like this note right here, and then.
Whoa.
So that's actually a minor 13 chord.
Ready
right?
for this? But just that finger though. I have to try to.
Yeah, you got to use the very tip of the finger. Yeah, you could use your third or your fourth. You know.
Oh, gotcha. Because I thought you were on your pinky too, but.
Yeah. So it's a very like, if you think about like James Brown or something like.
Oh, that is
guitar
very
playing.
James Brown. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with just like with your pinky.
Just one extra
in there,
finger.
like. So right there, all I did.
Funk.
All I did was just take that pinky and like.
Oh, so you're on the E string.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. So the
Just
first
trying to get by.
Yeah. So I mean, the first thing I do, even before I try to put a funky rhythm to it, I
Yeah.
just try to get the chord voicings. Like, I'll go through, each like super slow, like.
Ooh. Yeah. I have a hard time with that. Just keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
You're better.
But and then you pick it up. So you're basically just doing. A lot of it has to do with the way where you put your thumb on the back of the neck.
Oh, I see.
You know, like if you can lower it a little bit to cover more of the lower string.
Like this way?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're
sometimes
saying.
that helps. Yeah. I mean, even if you don't hit that high A, even if you just, even like those. Yeah. So, like. So you have all these.
Oh, that's cool.
So my favorite rhythm players, they add a lot of melody to what they're playing.
Okay.
You know, so they're not just like.
Right, because I could go all day on that, you know?
Yeah. But if you add a little bit of melody to it, and then the other thing too, you've probably you're sliding into it.
Yeah. That's the shit.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll even go like 2 frets lower. Like if I'm thinking like A minor, like. And then 1 fret higher. Yeah, but I spent a lot of time like learning triads, just not like on the top 3 strings.
Yeah.
You know, just learning different inversions.
Keep that going. Yeah.
Take an octave higher. It's hard on an acoustic.
That is hard.
That kind
That's
of
a
thing.
jam, yeah.
And because my favorite players, like I love triads, especially like if you're in a band and you've got another guitar player or a keyboard player, and they're playing all these big low chords, part of what you want to do is stay out of their way.
For sure.
And that's like a big mistake a lot of beginning players make, is like they go up there on stage and their whole attitude is like what can I do to make my own shit sound as hip as it possibly can?
Yeah, and then everyone's going out.
Yeah, and that's the wrong attitude. Like your
Right.
attitude, I think, should be, how can I make all these other cats sound as good as they can?
Yeah.
And that's when you're going to get called back for gigs.
That's it.
You know?
You have to have that energy. And then also another thing that I learned was like, or a helpful little tip, I think that would be kind of cool is if you're doing that, this applies to other situations too, but keep that in mind and go into it trying to make everybody else sound good too. But also whoever has the most fun wins. Like if you have that mindset in your head, it's like whoever has the most fun is the winner. So everyone's kind of
yeah. I mean, to me, being in a band, the most important thing above chops or anything, it's about the love and respect that people have for each other on stage, and that will find its way into the music. Like even if your chops aren't,
or decent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like when I go see a show, I want to see a show.
Exactly.
I've been to so many concerts. I mean, we've talked about this, how in Boston around here, especially in jazz, like, music can get just so academic, where like it's just like cutting teeth. You're up there watching some crazy band play and they're all trying to make each other's solo sound, or like their own solo sound better. But they're up there and they look miserable. Like, like it's a competition, and fuck that. I never got into cutting teeth,
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
It's always about the hang. That's what it's about.
Straight up. Yeah.
Straight up, bro.
That's usually my first thought. Because, with my stuff, I don't worry too much. I don't play a lot of guitar on stage. Keys is like second nature to me. And I'm always just like, all right, like I just gotta have the most fun that I possibly can.
Absolutely.
Because other people will have fun because of that.
Yeah. And they're gonna smell that. Like they're gonna know, like if you're having fun, that's gonna reel them
like you
in.
said, they notice it right away. So if you're having they love to see someone having fun.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun watching someone having fun? That's why that Vulpeck show is sick.
Yeah. I have fun watching them have fun.
Right. Dude. Oh my gosh.
Fun is fun.
F is friends who do stuff together.
Master of the obvious right here.
And thank you, Captain Obvious. Dude, I was knee slapping to that fucking the cringe guy on the guitar.
Oh my God.
Just thinking about that again.
Did I send you the COVID-19
anthem
music thing on where someone did something on like Pro Tools or something where it was this? It ended up. Yeah. I don't know if you can pause it for a second, but if we can find this, it was on Facebook. It was
it was on Facebook.
But it's probably on YouTube.
Let's try it. I could also Google. So what do you think? So COVID Pro Tools?
Maybe.
No. COVID Pro Tools videos. Yikes, COVID's depressing.
Yeah.
Jesus, we're just trying to look up a fun video and it's like businesses and workplaces for COVID.
Yeah.
Rules and guidelines.
Tools for dealing with COVID in a professional environment or something.
Jeez.
I may have to send it to you, but basically,
did you send it over Facebook at all?
Probably.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe I could try that. Killing it.
Yeah.
Wait, so but in your because this is all our messages is. It's like nothing. I don't think we've ever chatted on Facebook.
No, it wasn't a Facebook chat, but
oh, you tagged me. Of course you did. You're right.
Oh,
maybe it's on your wall.
It's probably. I'm sure it's on my wall.
Do we sound like moms? We sound like a couple of moms.
I know.
Did you see I tagged you in that? I think it's on my wall.
Yeah. Son, I tagged you. Oh, wait. I'm looking at my profile. And
I'm looking with you.
There's fun videos.
Look at him going through.
Here it is.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, let me see. Is there
You can hold it right up to the mic. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah. Here, can I see?
But if they could see that somehow.
Yeah, you'll have to send it to me after and I can...
Okay.
That's so good.
So basically what they did is like they you have, it's probably Pro Tools.
It's called MIDI, but you basically plug in, like, you can draw these notes into, like, to a software like Pro Tools or like Ableton or something.
Yeah.
And they basically use those notes because it's like you can see how it's displayed, and they basically spelt out coronavirus with notes, and then this is what it sounds like when you play it, right?
It's like it looks very pixelated. So you know, like on the first track, it's like way over, and it spells a C.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Funny. So this is what it sounds like when you play coronavirus. So he's just adjusting. He's finishing the S on virus, and he shows. Holy crap. That's it. I forgot it went so hard. There you go.
Yeah, it's a little hard hitting.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a doozy.
That's Coronavirus, the progressive metal tune. Wow.
So do you feel like your musical tactics or anything like that, are they going to change right now with everything that's going on?
Oh, you mean with coronavirus?
Mm-hmm.
I feel, you know what? I feel great, man. This is like a blessing in disguise because, just because of the way things worked out, I'm kind of just living the dream, and I have a lot of time for music, you know? That's the dream.
Yeah.
And obviously we're all just trying to get our shit together, you know?
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of us just miss playing out.
Yes.
Like that's the big thing, you know?
Jesus.
Like that's how a lot of us get off, you know?
Yeah,
Seriously.
Absolutely. It's crazy.
Yeah. But you know, this is a perfect opportunity to learn software or
right.
You know, work on your chops for things.
Everybody's starting podcasts too.
Yeah, everybody.
You know? Literally everybody and anybody.
I mean, anybody. Everybody.
Anybody. Jeez, you know. It's like a cool thing, but you know, holy crap, podcasts are taking over.
Yeah. What's the podcast experience been like for you? Has this been like has it been cathartic at all, or has it been like from the episodes I've seen, it looks like it's been a lot of fun.
It's just fun. It's way more fun than I thought too, by the way. I thought I'd be like itching and scratching like to try to create some content on here, but it just kind of happens. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely a whole other world. When I did it though, you know, I had the idea for maybe 2 days, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Got all the gear, and did the first episode. I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it right. And I recommend that also for anybody that's doing a podcast. You know, I watch like YouTube videos and shit. I just like looked up, you know, what's the best way? Like, what should I be doing? Like, like all that nonsense. You know, what's the best gear? And you know, obviously, you know, there's these microphones. These are pretty. You'll see these in most podcasts. These mics are great. Yeah, these microphones are fantastic. And I had someone ask me what microphones I use to record vocals, and I have a Bluebird vocal mic condenser. Yep. I think I got it off my friend for like $150. I think it's like a $300 mic. And these guys are a little bit more expensive than that, but I would say you should, like, if you're looking to like start recording from home, like this microphone is great.
Yeah.
This microphone is sick.
Is this a condenser mic?
Yeah, I believe so. It's just all around.
Yeah.
It's great. You don't need,
Yeah.
you don't need a huge setup. It's,
Yeah.
when
I got one of those Blue Yetis. Do you know the Blue Yeti?
Yeah.
And that's like five.
It does the trick.
Yeah, it does the trick. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
friggin' awesome, but in terms of like when I teach online lessons, there are a lot of people who are just they're doing them on their phone. Over
Right, you
Wi-Fi,
get
and
this feedback or whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like shit.
Yep, there go my fucking producer ears. It's just like, oh my god, the frequency's awful.
Oh god, it's terrible.
We should talk about the movie quotes. What's your favorite? Have you ever seen Stir Crazy?
A little
Richard
bit.
Pryor.
Yeah, and was
The Willy
Gene
Wonka
Wilder?
guy? Yeah, Gene Wilder.
No, but was that the one they were on the train or something? They were in a couple movies together, weren't they?
Yeah. What was
There
there?
was
a
one where they
train
were-
thing?
Well, there was one where they were like breaking out of. They were in prison or
Yeah,
something.
that's Stir Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, the movie's so great. Gene Wilder, R.I.P.
Yep.
Hear no evil, see no evil, whatever the fuck. That's the dude. That movie's great.
Yeah.
In some ways, I don't know. It's like it's on the same level as Stir Crazy.
Yeah.
Just like the same style, same time period, like same energy.
Yeah. This Eddie Murphy, like I'm not sure how much you know about Eddie Murphy, but he basically saved Saturday Night Live in the 80s.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I
heard about that.
There's an amazing book. I think it's called Live from New York.
Cool.
And it tells. I mean, there was so much drama in.
Really?
Yeah, but he saved that show, and I mean, yeah, he got into a little bit of trouble, but holy shit, that guy! I mean,
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop, Trading
Yeah.
Places, like he was money.
He's sick.
Yeah, so funny.
He saw Nutty Professor.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
and even the characters. Like, did you ever see Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood?
That's like my favorite one.
When he stole the drums from Smokey Robinson's van.
Dude, I used to watch those when I was a kid, and I didn't really understand it as a kid. And then watching it back, I'm like, dude, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
But
it's so funny because, like, yeah, I
That's
was
the landlord.
like, yeah. Who could that be?
Oh, it's an eviction notice or whatever the fuck. Like,
But I
he's
remember,
just-
it's so funny. Like, it shows you how much things have changed over time. Like, when I was a kid, he talked about stealing the drums from Smokey Robinson's van, and I knew who Smokey Robinson was.
Yeah.
And so many of my kids don't know who fucking Paul McCartney is.
I remember hearing a kid not knowing who Michael Jackson was, and I guess
it's to be it's to be expected, but I think you gotta know. Again, that's kind of what I'm talking about, like getting your hands dirty.
Right.
Yeah, like if you want to be a good guitar player, like you got to know who are the good guitar players.
Yes.
I think it's you got to know the history of your instrument. You probably know
This
lot
thing's
of,
my instrument mostly.
but in terms
Right.
of like synthesizers,
Right.
like learning about like what the hell is a Roland 808 or like
Right.
what is like who are the big innovators?
Right.
Like learn where your shit came from.
Yeah. Right. Tom Moog or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but like seriously, and most of it is just, I never thought in my head, oh, I need to look this shit up. It was all just curiosity, and I think that will happen if you are curious enough. It is a good thing to know if you haven't done it already and you want to do this or that. There's, I think I do think that's weird. For me, it just kind of came. It was just like force of habit. I just love computers. I've always loved computers and I love music, and that happened. But there's people my age now that are consciously just like, you know what? I would like to start to do this and like figure it out. And that's where that advice helps. Like that, you should say, yeah,
Yeah.
dive into it and and check out who the best people are and learn from them. And
yeah, and also just I think like I started out looking at who my favorite guitar players were, and back then it was like the heavy metal guys like I was really into.
Yeah.
But then I learned who influenced them. This person, well then who influenced that person, and
right.
You just go
exactly.
down, you gotta go down the rabbit hole, and you gotta dig deep too. Like I think like if you're learning a tune, learning a song, you gotta listen to. I tell people to if it's a really popular song, listen to as many different versions of it. See if different people play it differently.
That's a great point.
Try to watch the person play it live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's got to get in your blood. It's got to get in your ears.
It's so inspiring watching some live performances on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sick. Music's great, man.
I love music.
Yeah.
Again, and there's actually there is some sort of genetic thing that some people are just completely unmoved by music. It's genetic,
right?
I can't that idea is just so foreign to me.
Right.
I can't imagine not.
Right.
I play music all the time.
Me too. I'm the same
all
way.
The time.
If I'm cleaning, if I'm cooking, if I'm
if I'm driving, it's
like that's the whole point of driving.
Yeah. The first thing, when I looked for a new car, first question wasn't well, what's the mileage? Does it have a decent stereo?
I was the same exact way. Yeah.
It's got to have a kick-ass stereo.
It has to. What the fuck's the point?
Yeah. I mean, my wife she likes music, but most she loves listening, to podcasts and stuff, and but I'm I want good sound.
Yeah. Same here. I might put a subwoofer in my car. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, dude, I need that bass.
Yeah.
That's the one thing my car doesn't have is that bass. But
I'm not as big of a bass fan.
Yeah.
But it's actually interesting. I told you when I saw your band, this is probably 5 years ago or 4 years ago.
You saw the old project. I remember. Yeah.
It wasn't CHYLD. What was it called?
It was called Frevo.
Frevo. Yeah.
Yeah, and we opened for Crywolf at Sonia, and we had a decent crowd.
But that's the thing that really struck me was that I've never been I've always felt at least for the kind of music that I listen to, I've always felt car stereos were super bass heavy. I'm always turning down the bass. If I listen to...
That's interesting.
I mean, I listen to acoustic guitar, I want it to sound I like a good rich sound, with really complex mids and all that stuff. And but the one thing I noticed about your show is that the bass frequencies, they were they were so musical. It wasn't
cool.
just a this big thump Jabba the Hutt farted in your face or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
All the frequencies were really well defined, and even more just being able to pull that off in a live situation.
Mm-hmm.
Had you played that room before?
Before that show, maybe once or twice. Because after that, I played there quite a bit at Sonia.
Okay.
They've also got a terrific sound system. I'll give them most of the credit. But that's a huge thing. I mean, in my genre of music, bass is, it's called a sub frequency. It's anything pretty much below 200 hertz. That's really fucking geeky, but it's true. And what we try to do is we try to just separate that, so we don't want anything muddy or whatever. It's, electronic music. That's the nice thing. It's nice and clean. You have those rich, really high frequencies, and it's all about that thick chunky bass. But I think the thing that helped me the most when I was learning more about producing was harmonization in a bass. So
what do you mean?
If it's a low E, if the sub is an E.
Like an E on a bass
guitar,
or even lower than that?
It might... that's a good question. It might be lower.
Because, electronic music, I'm sure it goes a lot
Right.
I mean, let's get
Either
this on
way,
the
right? Yeah, that's true.
get this on the
right.
table. Like, I know shit about electronic music compared to you.
Well, yeah, and fun fact, I think the lowest that the human ear can probably hear is like 20 hertz. Mm-hmm. So say if you have like a low E at around, I don't know if it's like 50 hertz, that's like low. It's like deep. No matter what it is, if it's a bass, harmonization is like distortion, because the distortion creates like these harmonics.
Yeah, that's what distortion is. Overtones.
The overtones. Mm-hmm. So that I've used like harmonics to kind of make my bass like a little cleaner. It's gonna sound weird, but like
no, but like
it brings the sub out a little bit. It's not because you can't really hear that.
So you've added harmonics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because just like distort it.
Okay.
That's I think it's a common practice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Again, and that comes from those engineering ears, you know.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I remember when I was at music school, I
Berkeley cat.
yeah, I took an acoustics class for like I was in there for like 2 weeks. Like, you know, hindsight is 20/20, but man, like I wish I would have taken it because my older brother, who I was telling you about, like he's actually a professor at Berkeley, and like he's
no shit.
like he lives like 15 minutes from me, and like we've subbed for each other's bands.
Oh, no
before.
way, yeah.
Yeah, he's my guy.
There you go.
On like seriously, but one thing he told me is that like if you're at music school
Mm-hmm.
or whatever school, like take the courses that scare you.
Ooh, that's
know.
good. Great point.
Yeah, and there were some courses that I kind of shied away from because there were some other like really cool guitar classes, you know.
Oh,
like,
okay.
well, yeah, let's check out this Jimi Hendrix class, you know.
Oh, for sure. I mean, well, that's the
Yeah,
given, right?
you know.
Okay, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Yeah.
But like I remember I took a conducting class, which was a requirement, and the teacher was really hard. But she was really cool. Like she was way into Zappa and all this stuff.
Oh,
and,
no way.
You know, but she really kicked my ass, and so I signed up for the second half of it, and it was one of the best decisions I made there.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish I had like a good school experience like that.
You didn't
School-
have it? Well,
School has always sucked for me.
where did you went to?
hate
Was
school.
it UMass Lowell or where?
I went to Fitchburg State
Fitchburg. Okay.
for like one semester.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to music school though.
I wasn't even doing. I was at that point. I was wanting to do more film stuff,
Oh,
which
okay.
is like really weird, right? Like,
But that probably helped your video stuff that you do.
yeah, a little bit. You know, it's. I got really involved. So I was doing the radio. I had my own radio show Thursdays, whatever. I think I just like DJ'd on Thursdays.
Like on the college radio station?
Yeah, I literally like played mixes of like just sick fucking electronic music.
That's
just
awesome.
Shit that, you know, it was like Thursday night. I was like, oh, people are gonna be out
Wow.
partying. Let me play the sick shit.
Yeah.
People are gonna be jamming to the radio. So I had my show, and you know, I was doing some improv club stuff, and
Oh,
and
like stand up?
yeah, like just improv, like the improv group at college.
Oh, like acting
Just like
or
yeah,
Oh,
just
okay,
acting,
okay,
like
okay.
improv games, and
Yeah.
I never performed in front of a live crowd. It was just like a fun thing. And then the film club would go into Boston all the time, and like they would take you to these film screenings, and you could like meet people, get connections or whatever. And that was great. That was cool. But after this semester, I was just like, you know what? I want to do music. So
Yeah.
I left.
But yeah, I mean, what I was saying about you don't have to go to music. I mean, I think music school can be great. Like when I was at Berkeley, Berkeley it's like a microcosm of the music industry.
There's a word.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like
Whoa.
there were some people who who were so good that I mean
that it hurts.
yeah, like they could just walk my dog. You know what I mean? Like I mean they were just you know
Yeah.
wipe the floor with my ass. You know.
Yeah.
But then there were sort of the middle upper people
For sure.
But then there were some people who had no business being there.
Shit.
you know, and I think that's changed a little bit since I think the standards have gotten a lot higher. But
Right.
the thing is, like, I think you have to, like, if there's anything I would have done differently, like, I would have just learned more. You got to learn on the bandstand, you know, like, or playing live, or just, you know, you learn by doing it.
I've heard you talk about this a lot. That's a good point.
You know, I had friends whose technique was unbelievable, but like they didn't know how to hustle. They didn't print business cards with their fucking name on it. You know, like one thing I always did after a gig, like I gave this is before, you know, the worldwide interweb, or like, you know, Facebook and stuff. But I would like give them a card. I would get their contact info and just say, hey, I love playing that gig with you. It was awesome. And I mean, honestly, like I've gotten calls from people who I met like 10 years ago who I never thought I'd hear from again. And all of a sudden, you know, the phone, I get a text, you know.
Isn't this so funny?
It's crazy, you know. But yeah, there's some people like they just didn't it's strange, but yeah, like you think of like a lot of people like, you know, like Miles Davis dropped out of Juilliard.
Damn.
You know, and
that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he just learned by hanging out with Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie, and
that's crazy.
Yeah.
What a motherfucker.
I know. I mean, you think about like all the, like a lot of the great pop people, you know, like they didn't go to music school.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not everything.
It totally isn't everything.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like it is such a cool experience though.
Yeah. I think like it's great. Like a place like Berkeley or like, you know, music school, if you know what you want, I think you have to, like at least at Berkeley, since it's a microcosm of the music industry, like there's some, just like the students, there's some amazing professors, and then there's some that are just kind of like, you know, they've been there too long, they're a little jaded.
I can see that.
Like you have to go and identify the faculty and the students who are going to give you the good information, you know, who are going to, and you have to make connections.
That's what it is, baby. It's literally connections.
Yeah, exactly.
When you hear about, oh, how the fuck did you play that huge festival with like 100,000 people? Connections.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I saw a little TikTok about that the other day. People are being like very that's the thing about TikTok. It's great. And it's also great that like all these secrets are coming out, you know, like just these hidden gems about like music promotion and marketing and shit. But at the same time, you know, you know what? No, it's just great. It's just so different. That world didn't exist. Like it was, I mean, yeah, it's always been connections, but you never had this thing in your hand and you just go through TikTok and all these people are spilling like their guts and like this knowledge.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right. I'm a dinosaur. I don't know how many times I've said that this interview, but what is the only thing I know about TikTok is,
oh, I got you, boy.
Like the Donald Trump thing, but like what am I missing by not being in the TikTok?
Not much.
Really?
I mean, you're probably fine. Yeah. I mean, for me,
it's like this old fart. He doesn't need to be on that shit. No.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, way to take the words out of my fucking mouth, man. But it's. I'm probably digging myself a hole. Do you remember Vine?
Sort of. I've heard.
So
of it.
like, it really is just a string of random videos. It learns what you like.
Yeah.
Like the first time you sign up, like it's gonna ask you, what do you usually like? Like do you like, oh, I'm gonna like music, like.
Are you talking about TikTok or
yeah, TikTok?
Vine?
Yeah, TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember when you first sign up, it will ask you things you like. You know, oh, sports, gaming. You know, you can click some of that, and it will show you some stuff. Most it's just like funny shit, but it gets to know you too. So if you like more like music videos, it's going to show you more music videos.
You give it like a thumbs down or thumbs up?
No, it's just like a heart. You can heart it, comment, or share it.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no negativity. Yeah, can't dislike.
No.
Dude, that'd be fucking chaos. I even think it's weird. Like, I still think it's weird looking at Facebook with those new reaction things. It's not that new anymore, I feel like, but remember it just used to be just like and comment.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it's like care, haha, or
Yeah. Care. Yeah. That's a new one.
Are you do you get on Reddit at all?
Yeah, I do.
I feel like that, like, what, one of my clients, my dog walking clients actually was telling me about it's a great way to get, you don't get commercials thrown at you, and you know, like if you want to find out exactly what you want, like,
gotcha.
It's great for that.
Yeah, right. That's true. And there are some pretty cute fucking videos on it too. Like, you'll see these dog videos. Oh man, I mean, it's just like the same way the internet's always been, you know. Fucking cute animal videos.
Yeah. But I think like, you have to be. I think you have to take pride in your craft, and
absolutely,
and yeah, you do have to make connections, and I think you have to treat people with respect. Again, like you have no idea who's going to be in a position to help you.
Yeah.
You know, and and then
right.
also like just withholding judgment on people. Like, I've played gigs with people who I felt like I was getting kind of weird vibe from them, and then after the set, they're like, "Man, that was great playing with you." So, you know, I've learned my first judgments are not always correct.
Dude, you're absolutely right. Like, every show I'll play, I'm always playing with people that I'm usually playing with people I don't know. Except if it's like my own tour.
Like if you're on the same, you're sharing a bill.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. I'm on the bill with, I don't know, it could be 2 other bands or 3. Like, I'm opening, you know, for some big person or whatever, and it could even just be usually if I'm opening for like a bigger person, they're usually always super nice. But sometimes if there's other openers, you don't know.
Yeah.
But they always turn out being nice.
That's
like,
awesome. That's
great.
great.
And that it's great too. And at the same time, it's so funny because like you'll show up and same kind of thing. It's just like, you know, this is competitive. You know, you guys are like pretty much competing. It's weird, but the whole thing about music is we're all doing our best. We're all great, and we're sharing that. So. Yeah,
especially now with this crisis, you know, I mean,
these uncertain times.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're all in this together, honestly.
Yeah,
and that's another thing too. Like, I know there are a lot of like pop artists and stuff like that who people just love to rag on, and like, it takes a whole fuck of a lot for me to jump on someone's hate wagon.
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
Like, honest to God, okay, you know, all right, like, you know, Taylor Swift, I don't like a lot of her, but man, she's doing something right.
You gotta just look at them and be like, yeah.
You know, if she's gonna inspire someone to pick up a guitar,
then
who am I to, you know, who am I to judge?
Right, exactly.
You know,
that's what we should be doing more of. I feel like.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of. I mean, they'll do that all the time. I feel like there's one person in particular. I don't know, but if there's any like judgment of like, I don't know, that's all everyone, you know.
Yeah, just like
assholes are like
people hating on YouTube, like, you know, whatever. But I think by the time you get to their level, you have to have such a thick skin that, you know.
Oh yeah.
You just let that shit.
Well, that's the thing about Reddit too, having thick skin. I remember that when I was first producing, I think I made like my first thing. For some reason, I think my friend told me to like check out Reddit, put your song on Reddit or whatever. I just got my asshole ripped apart on Reddit.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How
no
so?
mercy. You upload a song
because you
be
get
like,
thumbs down or something.
Hey guys, I'm trying to produce. Check out what I did, and
wow,
they'll just come at you. They're just like, you gotta take a step back and just look at what you're doing. Just absolutely give up. I'm like,
fuck
okay,
that. Seriously. I heard a great quote one time is learn the taste of failure. Like, you have to know what it's like to fall on your ass, you know, have a bad night, and then you get up and do it again. I mean, that's the only difference between the, like, you know, people who don't make it and people who do, is like, they get up again.
Right. That's a big question. Is a lot of people, if you feel like you're good and you're like, oh, but I feel like I could do that. Why am I not there?
I think a lot of people. They wait to do something until they're ready. And that's not the way shit gets done.
You just gotta,
you do
do stuff that scares you a little bit.
Yeah, you do it, and then you get the courage to do it afterwards.
Yes.
It's like taking a class on something isn't necessarily going to make you better. It's like you do it and you fuck it up a bunch of times,
and just have fun.
And you get better, and you get better, and you get better.
Yeah. And then you're having fun, because I've always thought talent is subjective, so it's not the talent. It's like we've said, connections are a big thing, but it's not.
I think talent is so overrated.
Yeah, because
I think like 99% of being a good musician, maybe 90, is just working your ass off.
Oh, absolutely.
And like this whole thing, like, about growth mindset. How are we doing on time? Do you need to?
Oh, we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, about growth mindset versus fixed mindset.
Not explain that.
Yeah, I'm married to a teacher, so.
Yeah.
But so fixed mindset is the idea that every person has a fixed amount of talent and ability, and once you hit that, that's it. Like, that's your ceiling. And then growth mindset is the idea that we don't really know what our potential is. So why not just work your ass off at it, because it's interesting, because a lot of the times, like, the students who I teach, who I have the most trouble with, are the ones that have been told their lives how talented and how special they are.
I agree. I hate, like, it sounds bad, but like when my mom, she goes, "Oh, you're my special talented little boy," I'm like, yeah, I'm getting there.
It's like a better talent is, wow, you worked really hard, you worked your ass off to make that track. It's the work, it's not your natural God-given, the best. Like, there's so many like biographies about people like David Bowie. Like, he was not considered the most talented guy in town, but he worked his ass off. He honed his act, and man, he did something right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same thing with Daft Punk. They got their name because someone called them Daft Punks. It was in England, and daft is like, I don't know exactly what it means, but it's just like
pshaw,
you're stupid little punks.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what?
Wow, I never knew that.
We are Daft Punk.
Yeah.
And that's Daft Punk.
Yeah.
But talent is just opinion. It's incredible to me, what people, I mean, it sounds bad, but what people think are like is talent or whatnot. I mean, there's so much, I'm like, okay, there's like technique wise, there's like, the writing is good or whatever. Like, there's so much. So talent is all opinion, and that's just my thinking.
Yeah.
So like when it comes down to it, it's a lot of marketing, marketing.
Yeah, and just which comes back to hard work. That's
it's
what
full
it
circle.
is. It's all hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there are things like I feel like I know what my strengths as a guitar player are. I know what are like. You can't be all things to all people.
Yeah, you can be like self-aware and say, I'd like to work on this maybe, or I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah, or
there's
just,
always
like,
a challenge.
Yeah.
And the challenges are fun.
I mean, there's so many different skills, but like, for example, like as a vocalist, like I am a mediocre vocalist at best, backup vocalist. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
But I know that there comes a point where, like, okay, I've taken a few vocal lessons, I've practiced, I've done it, and I just realized, okay, I probably don't have the natural aptitude for that. But if I work really hard at this other stuff, I can get, I can do something with that.
Yeah. That's pretty mature, man. I never thought of it like that. I've always just kind of like, life is just fake it till you make it, kind of almost.
Yeah.
In a way, in a weird way.
Yeah.
But none of us know what the hell's going on or what we're
No,
doing.
not especially
Right?
not now. I mean,
Especially now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
it's funny because like I'm enjoying the little things so much more now.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you ever saying to yourself, oh man, that's weird that we went to a concert and we were like shoulder to shoulder with strangers?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Like, we'll be there again, but like, people are going to be more cautious now, I feel like.
I think so.
Isn't that so weird?
It feels like a bad George Orwell novel or something.
I thought the same thing. I just want to wake up from this fucking nightmare.
I know.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are things you can control and there are things you can't. And, it's
Yeah.
like, what are you going to do? The only difference is how are you going to react to it? How are you going to deal with it?
It is bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially for musicians, and like all these clubs are closing.
Mm-hmm. I just can't imagine how much money they're losing.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it bizarre?
Oh, yeah, but then all the they're they're hanging by a thread, and that yet how much money did Kodak get for the for their
oh dude
to produce the chemicals for the vaccine and like all these big corporations, I mean, what was
is
it
that
like?
why their stock price went up?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
It was like it
I should have
shot
bought
up.
some.
I know.
Yeah.
Someone said if you had, it was crazy. Someone, let's see. Kodak stock price. Like someone said, oh, if you
That's one day. Well, who
Oh,
knows?
wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
you'd have to look like 1 month. Like if you look at 1 month, you'll see. Yeah, like there it is. Like that's when now of course like everyone's gonna get excited and then it's gonna go
Jesus.
down. Yeah, I've actually been following the stock market pretty closely. Like I'm actually really into this stuff.
I've thought about it more and
Yeah.
more.
But
I'm like, I should invest.
Yeah, but the point is like, okay, if they have that money to bail those people out, how about these
Yeah.
clubs who are like these musicians? Like, what if? What was it like 4 years ago or 3 years ago? They gave a huge tax cut to like the top 1% for no reason. If they can do that,
Yeah. No bueno.
Yeah.
No bueno. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous though.
Yeah.
Someone said that if you had a certain amount, if you had like, I'm gonna butcher it if I try to explain it, but
Like if you had invested,
yeah, you would like after the spike, you would have like $10 million or something dumb. Like
Yeah.
it, like
yeah,
crazy how that shit works.
yeah. Yeah, I was pretty I actually like right after all this happened because I have an IRA.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
I
smart.
I mean, I bought some Zoom stock.
Zoom stock.
Yeah.
Wait, did you buy that before COVID?
No, it was after COVID, but it was
Oh,
still
yeah,
it
but
still
still
kept
going
going
up.
up. Yeah.
Dude, that's
mean,
sick. Zoom stock. Let's do
Like if you
a
do like
month.
6 months,
Wow. Oh, that's nutty.
I know.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
That's just not even January 2020 kind of. Wow.
I know. I wish I would have bought more.
Wow. So when did you buy it?
I think probably in like March.
Around
sometime.
here? Yeah, March or April?
Yeah.
When kind of shit.
When the shit.
So what
really
made
hit-
you, did you actually, you were just like, oh, they're gonna go through the roof. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
I just
that's
kind
a
of-
big market that's gonna, because everything is Zoom now.
Yeah, everything's Zoom, and then
It's very scary. I don't like it.
you don't like Zoom?
No, not just that. Just the new normal.
Oh yeah, fuck the new normal. I
Right?
mean, it's new, but there's nothing normal about it.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
totally redefines normal. And
Yeah.
I saw a picture of, I don't know if you ever use Snapchat, but they do like these memory things. So like, if you were somewhere like a year ago, or
With
if
people
you took
around
a
you.
picture, yeah, dude, shit showed up about like me at Fenway you know, at the Red Sox game. And I was like, dude, I
Yeah.
miss that life.
Oh man, that was like
You know?
Friday night. My younger sister, she's a Deadhead. She followed the Grateful Dead around for
Oh
years.
yeah.
Did I tell you about
I remember
that?
you were telling me about her. Yeah.
Yeah, and every year we go to is a tradition. We go to a Dead and Company show with like John Mayer.
John Mayer. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is a fucking monster guitar player.
He
There-
wails.
There's another triple threat: player, singer, writer. Anyhow,
They've got like a shrine for him at Berkeley.
seriously, but anyhow, yeah. I mean, and I got. They were coming to Fenway Park, which is supposed to have like really awesome sound for concerts, which you wouldn't think
Yeah.
that you'd have in a stadium, but apparently it is.
I've heard different things. Like it could be. I mean, I guess it depends where you are.
Yeah.
Because I had a friend that was at a concert there, and he was like in the seating, and he said it hit him weird.
Okay.
Actually, I can see that, but if you're on the floor, it probably sounds.
Yeah, I
great.
mean we're on but anyhow, like I got dynamite seats.
There you go.
Like really good and canceled.
Oh yeah,
You know,
dude,
everything- Thundercat. Oh my God, yeah. me and this
Thundercat.
guy.
It was like so close to COVID that it was like on the fence. Like the week
Yeah.
before Thundercat, we were like, I don't know if it's still on or not.
And I think right after that, the governor said, "All right, all gatherings of 200 people or more."
Yeah, right at the same
Yeah.
time as and
That was a fucking bummer.
that was
Like-
because I
like-
was hoping to see that guy for like 2 years now. and
Oh,
was
I
like,
know.
It's one of those things. I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody had at least like one big thing that was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yep, this was supposed to be my fucking year.
Exactly. Yeah. All the amazing concerts.
Oh,
We're
Tesla stock is.
Do you have some Tesla stock?
No, I was thinking about it because but that's expensive.
Yeah. I should talk to you later about setting up an IRA. I know a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm
we
old.
Should talk stocks. I have a lot to learn about that.
That's a new podcast for you.
And we're going to catch up later on the stock cast.
Let's talk about the Dow Index.
The Dow. Yeah. One day recently I had an appointment and I had to dress up a little bit, and something in me said, oh my God, I feel like I need to like invest in something. Like I felt like a businessman. And so, but not only that, just like, I don't know, whenever stock comes up in conversation, I'm like, you know what, maybe I could be making money. But,
Yeah.
but I also remember having like a class, like a finance class in high school.
Yeah.
And we did like fake stocks. It was like we used this website
okay.
where it was like a stock simulation.
Oh,
like you
yeah. I've
invest
heard
in
about
shit.
that. Yeah. They use in schools.
Yeah. So we had
Yeah.
a class and I was just like bad. I just remember, what was the one, there was like one company where I was like, dude, they suck or whatever. Like in the simulation, I was like, what, I'm losing so much.
Wow.
But yeah, I was just not good at it at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kodak though, you never think.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just like one of those things, you know?
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. Well, we'll try to wrap it up here shortly.
Yeah.
I think we'll do like a two-parter, I think.
I would love to. Any time.
You know what I mean?
Anytime.
So,
We got to do more playing next time. Like.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
That's
sick.
yeah. I mean, that's cool.
Jamming's great.
I mean,
There's no jelly allowed in here.
there's no.
No jelly allowed. Only jam,
That's. I love that quote.
you know?
Yeah. And you learn a lot about somebody by playing with them.
Yeah.
By doing music.
It's a
with
different
them.
language. Like, it's a different feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
and-
totally a different side. You know how they say, like, I don't know who says it, but like, you really get, this is from Batman, but you get to see like who a person really is before they die or whatever. Mm-hmm. I feel like you get to really see who someone is when you jam with them.
Yeah. Exactly.
You really break that like uncomfortable barrier of like, I don't know. Do you know what I
Because-
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it kind of gets back to that thing. Like I was saying, like I've played with some people. Like I remember I've played with this sax. Like there was a sax player, and we were playing a gig, and he was like just really quiet and kind of introvert. Didn't really want to talk to the other people in the band. But then he just played his friggin' ass off on
I
stage.
think I know who you're talking about.
Oh,
Our buddy that we know, or not him?
No, not him.
Okay.
But yeah, he's another one.
Yeah, he's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
amazing.
could just see him as kind of like timid. I remember when I met him, maybe, but
Yeah, I mean that again, like first impressions, like I don't always rely on him. But sometimes like when even if you didn't spend a whole lot of time talking with him off the bandstand and then you see him at another gig, you're like, hey, it's like no time passed. And it's like, yeah, we didn't talk, but we had that amazing musical experience.
like we had something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had something special.
It's literally like sex. It's weird. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Well,
like,
it's like an adrenaline rush. And
yeah. You know, we shared that.
we shared that one experience.
And on that note,
Yeah.
man,
We
it
shared
was-
this experience.
We shared such a great experience. This is the longest podcast I've ever done so far.
Oh, my
so
God.
That's why I'm saying I might split into 2 parts.
Now I
Keep
just
the
feel bad
audience-
for you. You got to do all this friggin' editing.
You know what I gotta do?
This is awesome.
All I gotta do is take the audio, take the video, and that's it, and then put it on YouTube. It's been.
Yeah.
I found ways to make the editing easier.
Okay.
In a way,
I'm
but-
sure. Yeah, and I'm sure like you've learned a ton by doing this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit that I wasn't prepared for. I was like, oh fuck, but
But
it's
then,
great.
yeah, that's again, you do it, then you figure out how to do it.
Right.
You know, you trip and fall, and
You know what I mean? We're still within the first 10 episodes, so it's still just a newborn.
Yeah.
You know?
this is awesome. I love what you're doing. Like I've watched some of the other stuff too.
I appreciate you.
Laugh my friggin' ass off
I
when you're just hanging
appreciate
with
you.
your boys. So funny.
Dude, hanging with the boys.
Oh my God.
So fun, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been great talking.
This is a great
and
hang. I love this.
You're welcome back anytime.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody that. Not to make you feel not special, but you know, Jesus.
You're
I
welcome
always-
back. Well, you're welcome back anytime. I tell that to everybody. But
Yeah.
I
But
include you.
anyway.
Yeah. Well.
Well, that's all the time we have today. But yeah, do you have anything to plug at all? You know?
Not really.
Okay. That's great. Well,
Yeah.
well, I'm the asshole then.
Yeah. Plug away.
No, yeah. My new song, "You're a Puzzle," is out now.
Is that the one with the awesome video that
Yes,
you did?
it is.
Yeah.
The really fun video
Was
with
that
the
in
dancer.
Central, was that in Central Square or
It
something?
was in Central Square.
Okay, that's what I
It was
thought.
right there.
Uh-huh.
It was right next to the Central Square sign.
Yeah. That was
I
awesome.
don't know if you've like been down that graffiti alley,
I think so, yep.
like right next to H Mart.
Yeah.
Good times.
So when is that? Has that dropped
It's
already?
dropped. Oh, it dropped so hard, like an atomic fucking bomb. That's inappropriate. But speaking of which, Lebanon. Did you see any of those clips?
Yeah.
That fucking insane.
Yeah.
Hate to end this on a sad note, but holy crap.
Yeah. It's
How the fuck did that happen?
yeah.
We don't know all the details yet, right?
I think it's and who knows if we ever will.
Right. It was like a firework place, right? I thought it was a place that like made fireworks or something.
Chemicals or something. Yeah. I know very, very little about it. But
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
again, you know, like there are places like that who live with violence every day.
It's seriously true.
You know, yeah,
It's a
I've
third
known
world
people
place.
who've
It's totally different.
lived in like Israel, and they know, like they didn't know if they boarded a bus, if there was gonna be a bomb on it. You
Insane.
know? I mean, it's just, you know, again, like.
And here we are sitting with our fucking microphones in like an air conditioned fucking studio.
Oh my God. Seriously, like,
You know?
I don't have shit to complain about.
Same.
You know?
Don't you think if like, pretty much if you're in America, like you should just, when you think about that shit, like you just shouldn't complain at all, right?
Yeah.
Hard to say.
I mean, well,
There's still a lot of different lifestyles.
well, yeah, and
Just in-
you know, I mean, we are in a serious crisis with, you know, these evictions that are going on. You know, about like these rent the moratorium on rent is ended because you know, people are really suffering right now, and I do think about that's what I think about most. You know, it's like
Me too. It's been a tough year for everybody.
Yeah.
Like for everybody, we're
Yeah.
all in this, like you said, we're all in this together. So,
yeah,
you know.
but yeah, I mean, I hopefully we'll learn something about, what's really important, what our real values are after this, and
Yeah. I think we will. I remember seeing a post that someone was like, you know what, when we come back, we're going to be back like better than ever though.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
hopefully.
there's always hope,
Yeah, there's always hope, and there's always new CHYLD music.
That's right.
Trying to find the best way to segue into that. Yeah, my new song is out now. CHYLD masks are available now. Go buy that shit.
That's
Protect
awesome.
yourself. You gotta just wear a mask. Don't be a fucking idiot.
Wear a friggin' mask.
Even though you showed up with a mask and I was in here like, oh hey,
Yeah,
with no mask.
Do as I say, not as I do.
We laugh about it.
Yeah.
Tough time, but we laugh about it. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, brother.
This has been Mind Bacon. This is Ryan. I'm Chris. Stay productive. Stay positive. Thanks a bunch. Bye.
See ya.
Hey, child.